You guys, so this is like a super late June reading wrap up. So let's get into wrap up. I read 7 books. One of them is on the Kindle. Let's go. Oh, I did like 7 books. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. I read 7 books in June. I feel like that's the longest. That's the most books I've read in like a really long time in 1 month. So I want to share with you guys what I read and my ratings for it. So the first book I read was 7 Year Slip early in June. I read this on the Kindle and I absolutely devoured it in a couple days. It was very, very good, fast paced, easy to read. The one thing I wasn't like crazy about is the ending almost. I mean, I feel like it was a very rushed, because like they all of a sudden like liked each other and knew each other, and then he already knew what the apartment was about. I don't know, I feel like it was very rushed. So basically the main character in here, she goes into her aunt or great aunt's apartment, she inherits it, and then every time you go in there, random moments, it goes back 7 years. So she meets a man who is the main man character, but they're like 7 years apart. So she would leave the apartment and then come back at a random time, and it's like present day. So it's kind of like a time traveling thing. And then they obviously meet up in the future, in present day. And you know, there's a lot of obstacles, I guess, or some obstacles that keep them from being together. But it was just a cute, fast read, very, you know, wholesome. Nah, not super wholesome, but I felt like it's definitely adult. There is some scenes, but I think it was fade to black on Spice. Kissing, yes, stuff like that, but nothing explicit. So I think I gave this one a 4 stars, only because I wasn't like crazy about the ending. But yeah, overall the concept was really great. The writer's great. She definitely got you into the world. And one thing about this, the main man character in here, he's like a chef. So I was actually going through like a fast while I was reading this. So I wasn't eating, and it was actually making me crave a lot of food during this time. So that's that. The Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. It is the Throne of Glass series. I read the first one, which was Throne of Glass, obviously. This one was really fun to read. I just loved knowing about Celaena and Celaena Sardothien. She won the contest in this book of becoming the king's assassin, and they sent, really sad about this book is that somebody dies that was like her best friend or whatever, which was spoiler, I guess. So sad. But yeah, just another one. I gave this one like 4.5 stars, I think, because I am loving the series. Like, this isn't my favorite book in the series, but it was cool to see more of like the backstory and more of the character development in this series. The next book I got out of the Sarah J Maas Throne of Glass series, and I started reading Nora Goes Off Script. I really enjoyed this book. It is super short and it was very fast to read, and it was just super cute. She is a script writer, Nora. She's a mom, and her ex-husband was a douche. He was bad. He was a horrible man. So one of her things that she wrote, the actor and actress or whatever, they had to go to her house because it was based off of like that greenhouse or whatever back house that she would write in. And so they use that as a set, and she ends up getting with the main man character who she wrote about in the script, and she falls in love with him, etc. But there's like one thing at the end that I was just like, oh, it's so, I mean, I guess it's valid, but it's not real life scenario. Obviously, this is not a real life story. This is not true by any means. Like, the author, Annabelle Monaghan, she made it up, but I'm just like, oh, is this like realistic? I kind of like didn't like that, and for that I gave it 4 stars. I just felt like there could have been a better, what's it called, conflict, I guess, or whatever. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was a fun read, and I wanted like something summery and light, so this was it. Okay, then I got back onto Assassin's Blade. Backstory of Celaena Sardothien, or however you say her name. She is a boss. I honestly didn't like the stories, the little short stories in here, because there's like a bunch of like little novellas or just little short stories in here that at first I wasn't really understanding, and then I got to the end and a certain someone passing away, and I was like, oh, I have to know what happened. And then obviously her capture and all that stuff kind of got me into it. It's good to read this one before I read the next book, which is Hair of Fire, because a lot of the things that were mentioned here were kind of mentioned in here as well. So this is the fourth book that I read, or fifth book that I read this month, and it was very good. It took me a long time to get through this. It's pretty thick, so I felt like it took me more than a week or two to actually like finish this. But yeah, it was pretty good. She becomes a woman here, a warrior, and I feel like in every book she has like a different love interest. Like in the first one, her love interest, or the guy she liked, was Dorian, which was the prince in the Throne of Glass. And then in this one it was Kaol, and then in this one it's Sam, and then in this one it's the Fae guy, Rowan or whatever, and I think that's the guy or the love character or interest that she's gonna get together with for the rest of the time or whatever. But it's like, girl, you have so many people that you're crushing on in every book. But anyways, so yeah, she has to go and figure out these word marks, and then they actually introduced like a witch clan in this one, I think. Yeah, Manon or whatever, and she rides, I want to say they're called like word birds or wyverns or something. I don't even know, I'm like trying to remember. Wyverns, and I guess they're like these magical dragony type things. I don't know. Well, anyways, that's like another backstory. I'm still not sure exactly how these like witches fall into the story with her, because they haven't like intertwined yet. Even in the Queen of Shadows, like I'm halfway done with it and I still don't know what their significance with each other is, but I'm sure it's all gonna weave in together beautifully. But yeah, I liked this one actually after finally getting through it and understanding it and stuff like that. So yeah, what did I rate this? I think I rated this 4.5 stars, just because it is an overall score for the rest of the series. Okay, all right, so these two books are what I read in my 7-day challenge. I read 2 books in 7 days. People We Meet on Vacation was the first book. I really enjoyed this book, except I'm not into the friends to lovers plot. I mean, if you're friends, you're obviously gonna love each other and there's gonna be some chemistry there or whatever, but I just didn't like how in the beginning they weren't telling you exactly what the conflict was that made them not become friends for like 2 years or something. But overall, I am happy ending, very, very summer feels, because you know they take summer trips together every year, all that good stuff, and I just love stories that they end up together. So Poppy and Alex, they end up together. So if you want to hear my in-depth thoughts about this book, it's in my other video, the one where I posted before this video. And then also the one I posted before this video was the storied life of AJ Fikry. Very sad, very heartbreaking, and yeah, I like this book. I read this book in like a day because it was that good and it's not long. And there's a movie about this with this, so I need to watch it still, but I really did enjoy this book. He is a bookshop owner. He's a widow. A baby gets left on his doorstep or in his shop, his bookshop. And it was just, and then I like how all the things like tied together, so it was pretty cool. So these are my June reads. 7. I can't believe I read 7 books. I feel like July is gonna be a little shorter because I'm still on my 2nd book in July and I've just been so busy. You know, me and my family are doing all the summer things. But yeah, stick around for that. I know this is like a late video, but anyways, that's all. Bye.